Hello, and welcome. I am Web Weaver, and I'm so glad you have found my channel here today. This is where I do a weekly tarot reading just to give us some guidance for our week ahead. As always, these readings are for entertainment purposes only, and I am using the Slavic Legends tarot deck. And because I'm using this deck, I do have a little notebook here because each of the major arcana ties into a Slavic legend, or it's based off of a Slavic legend. So if we pull a major arcana, I can go through the legend that it comes from in case it has pertinent meaning. Okay, so this will be for the 29th, 30th, July 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Okay. So let me make sure I've got these facing the right way. All right. This mat is not staying put, but that's okay. All right. I hope you've had a lovely week, let me tell you. I pulled that 5 of coins card for Monday last week and got smacked with it. My week was just kind of crap from there on out, but I hope you all had a better week than I did. Hopefully this week goes a little better. Let me check and see how that's faring there because... Okay. All right, so we need to know for the week ahead. What's a message for this week ahead? Last 2 days of June. First 5 days of July. 2026. I'm going to stop there. Okay. So, for Monday, we have the 10 of Cups. I'm just checking the video has to be so high that I can't see whether you can see the whole card or not, but I think we're there. I think you can see most of it anyway. All right. Okay. Okay. So the 10 of Cups. Cups have to do with emotion, psychic abilities, tens being a situation is over, right? When you get to 9, it's basically we're almost there, like we just got to wrap things up. 10 is the wrapping up. So this would be a very favorable card. You can see we're celebrating. We have a plethora of things around us, cups around us, or the couple, us, we're not in there, but the couple, the family. So this card has to do with joy and peace and family and love, a happy home, like everything you could want. Much better than last Monday. Okay, so for Tuesday, oof. Okay, 3 of Swords. The 3 of Swords is a visceral card. This is heartbreak, loss, betrayal. I mean, look at the card. It's a heart being stabbed 3 times. That is not, that is not a happy card at all. So following the happiness of the day before, this could be heartbreak. It could be loss of some sort. It is swords, and swords has to do with air. So it's very much the realm of communication and knowledge. So it's a loss in that sense. It's finding out you've been betrayed. It's finding out, you know, maybe someone has been lost. It's loneliness, feeling alone. But it's some kind of sorrow, but it's caused by knowledge or communication. So Tuesday's a little rough. Okay. Wednesday. Oh, hang on, the cards are stuck together. Wednesday we have the Lovers. So the Lovers, this is a major arcana, so I will be reading the book here in just a moment. But the Lovers has to do, it can very much definitely be a romantic partnership, but it can be a partnership of any kind. It doesn't have to be a romantic one. It can be a business partnership, but it's some kind of agreements made, partnership formed, any kind of relationship. It can be, I'm getting the book here, it can be sexuality, personal beliefs, values. Could be that you need to make a decision about these things. A second while I find this here and grab my glasses so I can read it. But it generally has to do with making a decision that makes you happy, makes your heart happy. Some kind of partnership that makes you happy. So the Lovers card is inspired by the Night of Kupala, also known as St. John's Night, a traditional Slavic festival associated with the summer solstice, which falls around June 21st to 22nd. So we just had that. It is a time when the day is longest and the night is shortest, holding great symbolic significance. The festival has its roots in ancient Slavic beliefs and is celebrated to honor nature, fertility, and fire. It is an occasion for joyful rituals, dances, singing, and offering sacrifices. People gather around bonfires where they engage in dances and may even jump over the flames, symbolizing purification and renewal. The Night of Kupala is also a magical time when special properties were attributed to herbs and water. It was believed that plants gathered on this night possessed magic powers and had the ability to heal and protect against evil spirits. The festival also carries romantic elements, and in the evening, young people often come together to celebrate and spend time together. The traditions associated with the Night of Kupala vary depending on the region, but a common element is the joyful atmosphere linked to the summer solstice and the rejuvenation of nature. The Night of Kupala is an important part of Slavic cultural heritage and is still celebrated in some regions, especially in rural areas. This festival serves as a reminder of the close connection Slavs had with nature, the cycles of the year, and the magic that surrounded their lives. It's worth noting that the details and customs associated with Night of Kupala may vary depending on the region and time, as Slavic traditions were passed down orally and underwent certain changes over the centuries. But nevertheless, the spirit of joy associated with the summer solstice and the celebration of nature remains a common theme among various Slavic communities. So not only do we have the summer solstice meanings and all the things tied into it, we have the Lovers as well. So some kind of relationship or decision or commitment that needs to be made. The choice you make now is going to affect your future. But love heals, and you need to make a decision that makes your heart happy. Okay. So Thursday, then we have the Hanged Man. So the Hanged Man is very much a card telling us to pause, right? Get a new perspective on things. You need to let go of what you think or what perception you are holding you need to kind of take on a different perspective, maybe reverse something. It can mean sacrifice. It's generally around the time of an initiation or a transitional phase of life, but the message of this card is to relax and let the changes come. Look at that new outlook. Look at things from a new perspective. Surrender yourself to an experience or a situation. So we just need a shift in perception, is what this card is telling us. So let me see what the book says, what it ties into. Give me just a moment while I have it all written down. I just don't have it marked to make it easier to find things. I probably should do that. All right. I'm going to pause you for a second. Okay, I apologize for that. One of my children came and knocked on the door. So I am finding the Hanged Man card. Okay. There it is. All right, the backstory to the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man card depicts Veles, also known as Veles or Volos, one of the main Slavic deities, the god of the earth and water, cattle and the underworld, also associated with harvest and falsehood. He's considered a deity with multiple aspects and functions. He is usually associated with the underworld, but is also connected to nature, cattle, and wisdom. Veles was often depicted as a giant or a dragon, sometimes as a human with animal features such as horns and a tail. He was regarded as the ruler of the underworld, responsible for the realm of the dead and all aspects of underground life. However, Veles was not only a dark figure. In many beliefs, he was also considered a deity of fertility, protector of animals, guardian of shepherds, and a patron of craftsmanship. He was perceived as the lord of cattle, and his presence was believed to ensure good harvests and successful livestock breeding. Veles also played a role in mythological narratives, particularly in relation to the god Perun. Veles often appeared as a rival or adversary to Perun, and their conflict symbolized the struggle between the forces of the heavens and the forces of the underworld. In Slavic mythology, he was also associated with wisdom and esoteric knowledge, which is why he would be the Hanged Man. He's considered a spiritual guide and guardian of magic, as well as a protector of secrets and hidden knowledge. And as always, there may be variations and differences across regions of the Slavic culture. So yes, we are being asked to look at things from a new perspective, pause, think about things a different way, perhaps surrender to an experience or a situation. Look at things in a way you haven't before. On Thursday. So then on Friday, we have the Six of Cups. So again, cups being emotion or psychic ability or things like that. I think in one of my decks it shows two children playing for the Six of Cups. But this card has to do with goodwill and innocence and childhood and happy memories. So we're being asked to take on some of that childlike energy, that innocence, imagination. Let your imagination run on Friday. All right, so now on Saturday, we have strength. But this is a quiet strength. So let's talk about strength, because when you think of the idea of strength, a lot of times you think of the Chariot as well. But this strength is a different kind of strength. So this is the kind of strength that you don't have to exert your will so much, if you will. If you see, I mean, this is a woman who is riding a large animal that could easily gore her with those horns or throw her off or any of those things. This is a quiet strength. right? This is a strength that doesn't need to be so dramatic. It's not like the Chariot card, which is the card that comes before this one, where it's very an outward show of strength. This is more inner strength. So it's that calmness, the patience, self-control or soft control. It's a strength of character. So an inner strength, that personal power that you have inside, not the exertion of power to control other people. This is your personal power. This is having self-control and confidence and determination, a calm control. All right, so this is a major arcana. So I'm opening the book here. There's the Chariot, so it comes right after that. So let me make sure you can see the card. Yes. The inspiration for the Strength card, I'm going to butcher this one and I'm sorry. Dziewna, Dziewanna. She was revered as the goddess of nature, hunting, and wild wilderness. She symbolized the strength and beauty of forests and was a protector of animals. Her presence was particularly important for hunters who sought her blessings and successful hunts. She was depicted as a young woman with a pale, delicate appearance, often dressed in a gown made of plants and flowers. Her hair was long and flowing down her shoulders, and she had wreaths of green leaves in her hand. As a goddess of nature, she had the influence over the fertility of plants and animals. She was associated with the arrival of spring and the rebirth of nature after the period of winter slumber. It was believed that her presence brought abundance and prosperity. As the patroness of hunts, she aided in successful hunting and ensured the availability of wild animals. She also had a magical aspect and was regarded as a witch or sorceress. In some stories, she was portrayed as a master of magic, possessing abilities for spells and enchantments. She was often seen as a guide to the spiritual realm and had the power to communicate with other supernatural beings. She was also associated with fertility and rebirth. Her cult was tied to the cycle of nature, where forests rejuvenated after winter. During the spring, she played a significant role in rituals and celebrations where homage was paid to her and offerings were made in exchange for prosperity. So on Saturday, we're looking at an inner strength, self-control, patience, that kind of thing. And then on Sunday, we have the 9 of coins. So again, coins are the physical. Coins are the physical body. It could be your home. It could be your possessions. It could be your health. It can be money, finances, okay? So 9 is almost at the end of the series. Once you hit 10, that is the ultimate conclusion. But this card is telling us to have discipline, self-reliance, refinement. You're almost at the end, and it's not a bad end, right? The 5 of coins that we drew last Monday is a struggle, right? Financial struggle, financial hardship, things like that. When you're at the 9, you're almost at the 10, and the 10 is a complete successful conclusion. You're wrapping up a successful situation. So the 9s is still accomplishment. It's still happiness and success and abundance, right? So that's where we are next Sunday. All right. Well, I hope you all have a lovely week. I am sorry that took a little longer because we had the major arcana and the interruption, but it happens. I hope you have a great week. Other than Tuesday, where we may get some difficult news, it looks like a pretty good week. So I hope you enjoy it, and I will see you next Sunday. Blessed be.